I'd like to show you how we cut our horizontal boards using our automated range of models. The mill being used in the video is the M1228 with digital sizing. The swing blade advantage is its ability to cut hard tension timbers in sections. Some may take the view that more blades are better, but from my viewpoint, a single blade is far superior. The reason I take this view is for the following points. Multi-blade saws have only one option. That is to cut the board or beam in a single pass. This creates several issues. You need roughly double the horsepower. You can't fight tension during the cut. You can't climb cut or resaw. This is something I regularly do. You must return the saw before you're able to start the next board. You can't double cut. That's to produce a double width board right off the log by using both sides of the horizontal blade. You will also notice that these multi-blade saws typically have a much smaller bottom horizontal edger blade. The reason being is that the sawdust is not expelled as efficiently as it would in the vertical cut. The sawdust re-enters the cut after circulating under the blade hub area and against the slab face. This causes heat to build around the blade, which then equates to blade wobble and deviation in the cut. Ultimately, this becomes very hard on the gearbox, belts, and motor. But the biggest effect is accuracy. I always advise my customers that all deeper horizontal cuts need to be taken in sections. Not such a big deal if you operate one of our automated mills. You're just actuating a lever. So you would have noticed the difference between cutting the board in two passes versus the single pass. And what you would have noted was that the motor was struggling, was really under power going through in that cut in one pass. Also, dust particles were coming off the blade, so it was like it was more of a cross-cut effect. Whereas the three-cut process, it produced more like chips. So it's a far more efficient way to cut through your wider boards in sections. Because what actually happens is that first cut guides the second cut, and so on. So you end up with a much more accurate board and less chance of the blade heating up when it's sawing. So yeah, I mean, we got away with it, you know, that one board. But if you're doing that, you know, 2-3 boards down the line, your blade's going to get hot, and you're just going to be fighting the sawmill. So our swing blades are designed to cut in sections, right? So with the computer program here, I've actually programmed the sections to cut through a 2.5 inch, then followed by a 5.5 inch return cut, and then the final cut at the very end. So you can proportionate those 3 different cuts. And what you'll also find is on the return cut, as it's coming back, you don't get bounce. And the reason you don't get bounce is the saw is propelling away from the cut rather than being drawn in. So that's why you get bounce on our monorails, and that's why all swing blade guys or manufacturers tell you to do it in 2 passes. But with our machine, you can utilize that return cut, and I quite often climb cut. So, you know, if I'm doing 4 inch, I might go through 4 inch, come back, go through 4 inch, come back, flip, cut them all free. So it just saves all that swinging. I do try and limit it to about 4 inches, but with your 12 inch horizontal cuts, there's no other option other than to return in the 6 inch. So I go 2.5 inch, you know, 5.75 inch return, and then the final cut. Just because you get too much bounce going too deep, moving away from you. So definitely, section sawing is the way to cut all wide boards on our automated mills. With the manual machines, you've just got to go through with as deep as you can, come back empty, wind it over to your ultimate cut, set your roller, which stabilizes the cut, and then carry on. But with our automated mills, there's no reason for that little roller. All we do is just section cuts to do your wide boards.